Hi, my name is Andy Boyle, and welcome to The Primer. This is a video how-to series on the Forensic Technology product line and some tips and tricks on how I think you can best use them to get the most efficient use out of them. In today's video, I want to showcase what sort of preferences I would choose with the imaging tools that are on the right-hand side of the screen here. So I have it set up right now for the factory default, which would be a 2D image with the image overlay. I would change that to be a depth grayscale view. Composition is currently set to none. I'm going to leave that at none for now. 3D rendering has a value of 30. 3D elevation has a value of 100. And the thing is, if you increase that 3D elevation to about 190, that's where I like to leave that, and play with that 3D rendering, this will give you a lot more texture on screen here to work with the virtual side light. You see the effect it has with those shadows as we move that virtual side light around. And that's great when you're actually doing a comparison between two exhibits. But what I want to do before I get into comparison mode, I want to keep the mindset of screening through these 52. I want to have a good base image to screen through several of these and only go so far to do a comparison between the couple that look the best there. I'm not doing a full comparison for all 52 because that ends up taking quite a bit of time. So to get myself the best default view, I'm actually going to take this 3D rendering and I'm going to bring that all the way down to 0. And when that's at 0, you'll see that the light angle here does not have any effect on that surface. And that's what I like about this view, is that you've got the raw 3D, you've got a uniform foundation right now where big bold features show up as big white marks or black marks here. And it's something you can clue into very quickly while you're in a screening mode rather than a comparison mode. And the last thing I would do here as well is I would zoom out until the sizing is such that I can still see my centered best match land impressions here. If you look on this side, the guys with yellow text, Lee 5 to Lee 2, that is the best match that this algorithm saw with the system. That is still centered here. So I start off looking at what the system suggested, and I can glance upwards and look at the next match pair above the best match, as well as the best match pair, or the next match pair below the best match. That was tough to say. So this is how I would preset it, and at that point I would save this as my preferences. And now if I were to come close that, if I come back into this and open up that first place positioned exhibit for my correlation reviews, this is already preset now for me to do those reviews. The one thing you may need to change before you progress varies on the caliber of the actual comparison. So my reference right now, I believe, is a 9mm Parabellum, which is what this is. And so the zoom setting I have right now is the perfect size to get 3 of these land impressions across for a 9mm bullet. If this was a 25 caliber or 6.35mm, then I would need to play with the zoom in or zoom out. Same goes if it was a 45 caliber. So you may need to play with that zoom when it first opens, get it just right for this particular reference, and then save those settings, and it will remember it for the entire duration of the 52 exhibits that you're about to screen through. So that is how I would preset my side-by-side screen before I start doing my screening of the results list. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the channel for future content, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.